What's good, YouTube? Blazeshadowthorn here, coming back at you with week 1 of the WCP World Pokemon Conference, World Pokemon Federation, World Pokemon Federation, so it's WPF. I don't know, new league I'm in, a bunch of cool people are here, and we got a week 1 game. First off, I'd like to say that the team I was given, I did not draft, because if you look at it on paper, there is literally no counter to Mega Metagross. The best thing I have to take on Mega Metagross on my team is a defensive Garchomp, which defensive Garchomp gets 3-hit KO'd. That's right, a 3-hit KO. That is not a switch in. That is not a counter when someone gets 3-hit KO'd. So other than that, I'm pretty much heavily relying on a bunch of my team. Like, I over-prepped for that as I brought a Choice Banded Hawlucha, which is a 2-hit KO. I brought a Choice Scarf Blaziken, which is an OHKO if I can get off a Flare Blitz, so I'm definitely keeping that around. Other than that, the only real threat else I see on his team is possibly that Sharpedo if I allow it to set up, which is why I brought my defensive Togetic. Thundurus Therian was a bit more of a problem that I didn't really see until I actually got into the battle, because the combination of Pin Power, Ice, and Thunderbolt does a hefty number on my team. Again, I have no safe switch-ins on it. So, you know, he has a lot of things against, like, his team was pretty much built to handle mine. You just bring those 2 Mons, a couple of Death Fodders, and you're good to go. So we're just going to see how this plays out. And, what we go. So he's going to be leading off with the Thundy. I'm going to be leading off with the Sinister. Right off the bat, I'm going to go straight away for the Shadow Ball. I believe I am Focus Sashed, so I'm not really fearing much of anything, as I do 50% to this Thundurus. Plus, I want to get this thing dead out of the way, because like I said before, it's a huge threat to me. So that happens. I see he's Life Orbed, and I also see that he has Knockoff. So I'm like, alright, I see you. I wanted to predict the switch out into Sharpedo so bad and go for Focus Blast, but I could not risk him staying in. So I opt to sack this thing off. Right off the bat, I get the Sped F drop. Sped F drop doesn't matter at all. I predicted him to Protect, to be honest. I did not see Aqua Jet coming, or else I would have switched. I went for Destiny Bond here, trying to get a cheeky kill. But I see 2 of his Mons are Life Orb, so I'm like, alright, I see you. Does this thing not have Protect? Does it? So that's gonna happen. He's gonna pull a switch out because he sees I'm here. I predicted him to switch out into his Metagross and not go out predicting me to Toxic instead of going for a Thunder Waves, but he actually goes on to the Regirock, which is like whatever. I'm just going to pull a switch out now into ya boy, the Choice Banded Hawlucha. Because Choice Banded Hawlucha with Mold Breaker, it's going to be pretty powerful. Unfortunately, he does get paralyzed here, which does prevent him from getting up rocks. And this allows me to go for a high jump kick and do 50% to this Regirock, as he ends up getting paralyzed again. Rocks in the long run did not matter, but it still kind of sucks that he didn't get him up. So I am able to knock out this Regirock, which wasn't a problem per se. It was just an annoyance. It was just an annoyance. So I kill off this Regirock, which is amazing. I don't have to worry about that thing anymore. And he's gonna go out into the Metagross, and I'm like, alright. We're in, he's in, he has the threat, it's in, what do I have to sack? So go out into Beastly Gibble, because like I said before, Zen Headbutt is a 3-hit KO. He has to go for Zen Headbutt. There's no reason for him to go to Meteor Mash, because Meteor Mash will not OHKO, and the Zen Headbutt will. And your boy Hawlucha is a pretty big threat to his team, so he's forced his Zen Headbutt. I get that prediction correctly. I am not Rocky Helmet. I am in fact Leftovers to increase my survivability. So that's a thing. Get a little Leftovers recovery, and he gets Iron Barbs, a rough skin damage off. He actually gets threatened out by this thing, which is pretty cool. I actually predict him to get threatened out. I get up Rocks, because Rocks will trap in this Thundurus and make sure that he can't really do much of anything to me. And especially with a couple Life Orb hits, he's gonna die pretty much. He has no switch-ins. So I'm actually gonna switch out. I'm gonna go out into Bubbles, predicting the Hidden Power Ice to happen. I brought Bubbles pretty much on the off chance he brought Cresselia. I sped crept with this thing to outspeed, get up a Toxic on it, and I'd be pretty good to go. But unfortunately, I guess good for me, he didn't bring it. So I'm pretty much able to sack off Bubbles freely. It did absolutely nothing for me this game. And I see he's mixed Thundurus because I saw twice he went for knockoff instead of going for Hidden Power Ice, so maybe he doesn't have Hidden Power Ice is what I'm thinking. But I still don't want to bring in Garchomp just for him to get knocked off leftovers. So I'm going to bring in Hawlucha. Right here, he makes the biggest misplay of the game. This is like, we did a rematch afterwards, so it doesn't matter a lot. But this was a very, very bad misplay on my opponent's part. He switches out, and he switches in Metagross. Bullet Punch will not kill me, and I'm able to knock out the Mega Metagross, which, if he played his cards right, could have completely destroyed my team. Not only that, he also lost his Thundurus, which was another big threat on my team because he dies to Stealth Rock and re-entry. So very, very bad misplay on my opponent's part. So that definitely clinched the game for me, if you hadn't guessed. I'm able to predict the Aqua Jet correctly, go out into Piglet, my defensive Togetic. Again, the only reason I brought Togetic was for because I knew he'd probably bring Sharpedo or Crocodile, and I wanted to have a counter for that, a nice threat for that. So he's gonna go on to Thanks Obama, this Obama Snow, and I really wasn't sure what I was thinking about this thing, so I just go for a Toxic. In the end, I should have honestly went for a Flamethrower, because what else was he gonna do? Like, he has no switch-ins to this thing. So that was definitely a big, not really a big misplay on my part, but definitely a misplay on my part. And he actually sets up an SD, so if he would have just went straight away for an attack, I would have been a closer game, definitely. I won't say I would have lost, but it would definitely have been a closer game. I actually think I might have lost, because Obama Snow actually was a pretty big threat. Because with Ice Shard, +2 Ice Shard might have been able to knock out all my... No, I had a Blaziken. Never mind, I had Blaziken. I'm pretty good. I would have just brought in Blaziken and I would have won. Thundurus goes down to Stealth Rocks. He's going to bring in Sharpedo now. Sharpedo is his last mon. So he's going to reveal the Ice Fang to me. That's fine by me. I really don't care too much. That actually did a lot of damage. A lot of damage that I did not want to take. But I did take it, because I'm bulky. I go for a Flamethrower, but it fails because it just fails. There was no mon to burn to a crisp. So he's gonna bring out his last mon, which is Emboar. I want to preserve my Differentiary, because Differentiary, it makes me feel like a douche every time I do it. But Differentiaries are very, very important in a GBA style league. So I had to do it. He actually ends up going for Wild Charge. I actually did not predict that. I predicted him to go straight away for the Flare Blitz, but I'm able to outspeed, knock him out with an EQ, because even defensive Garchomp can knock out Emboar, because it's not as fat as people think it is. So that leaves me with a 4-0 victory, which is very huge. I did not expect to walk away with a win from this game, just because if you look at his team, just look at it for a moment. Obama Snow pretty much destroys everything on my team, except for the Blaziken. Metagross pretty much destroyed everything on my team, and Thundurus pretty much destroyed everything on my team. So he had a lot of threats on his team. I did not prepare well at all for the Obama Snow, but through luck, a few misplays, I was able to clinch the match. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, I look forward to week 2. Should be coming out next week. I actually have a 30-minute prep video that I will upload as soon as I have the match. So obviously my opponent will not see it. So that'll give you a little taste. It's a 30 minutes long, so it's an incredibly long vid. But I pretty much talk about everything that I think he's going to bring and my sort of game plan for that. I did it a long time ago because the league had a few hiccups before we got started and we were allowed to upload our matches. So that's a thing. So 4-0 victory for me, week 1, which is pretty powerful considering the team I inherited. So we'll see y'all for week 2. And support ya boys, the Korean Panchams. So yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.